Yeah, boy. Nice. Okay, we're back in the shop now with the XRT. Had that unfortunate incident today where the wing broke. It was very cold out today. It's in November here in New England, so weather's extra cold. I was going wicked fast. I couldn't slow down in time. The biggest downside is I wasn't able to film that part. I wanted you guys to see it. It would have been fun to see it in slow motion when it hit the curb. I wasn't able to do that though, but did want you all to know that I did find the parts in case this happens to you and you need them. You don't have to buy the whole entire wing. It's just those two wing pieces that hang off the bottom of it that I was able to purchase on eBay for about 10 bucks. I've ordered them. They'll be here in just a few days. So no harm, no foul. But in the meantime, I want to be able to use this truck between now and then. So I think I've come up with a quick fix temporary solution that's going to keep the wing together between now and then. Let's go. Well, temporary fix. I got a zip tie on each side. And then I also got two bungees. And it seems to be holding. Pretty good temporary fix. Kind of looks silly though. If you look at it, it looks like my truck has balls now. You thought this truck was badass before. Now my truck has balls. That's right. The XRT. Badass vehicle. With balls. Balls of steel, I tell you. But it's working. Look at that. Nice. So for now, hopefully that'll hold until the parts come. So I thought that was funny. What's up, everyone? This is Joe Sorrentino, NEWENGLANDRC, here to do another accessory upgrade video for the Traxxas Xrt. Today we're going to add body lights. I just picked these up over at Amazon.com. The company name is called TiK TOK. And I've been using these right along with all my RCs, so you've probably seen them in dozens of other videos I've done. But one thing unique about these particular ones are waterproof. A lot of times I just get the cheapest ones I can find, and it doesn't always work in my favor when I do that because you can catch batteries on fire. When you're jumping things, you got to be really extra careful when you have exposed LEDs. One thing that I've been doing to get around that with my other ones that are not waterproof is I would add some hot glue or maybe some nail polish and coat them so that way in case something gets pinched or something, there's less chance of a fire. But with these, I don't need to do that because they're already set up for waterproofing, so it makes my life a little bit easier. But we are still going to need to glue them down because the sticky back that they provide is never enough. These actually come in two strips, one on each side. It can also work with an airplane. It goes left and right. And basically what I do is I wrap it around the chassis of the vehicle underneath, and then you get a little underglow action, and then some of it shines up through the body too, which is great on these Traxxas bodies too, by the way, because they really do shine through. I know on my X-Max bodies, these light kits, they light up awesome. And so I'm excited about that. So we're going to test that out today and see how it looks. Let's go. So here's what we're going to need. Hot glue gun and some hot glue. I like the Gorilla hot glue. They work real good. And of course, I'm going to need my Traxxas toolkit so that we can open up the electronics box and we can plug the lights in. So that's the stuff you need to do what I'm going to do today. Let's get started. Okay, so I removed the body, and now we are going to get into the electronics box inside here. We're going to have to unscrew it with two screws there. I think it's just two, might be more, but we'll see. I'm going to pop this out, and then we're going to get at our auxiliary ports so we can plug the lights into that. Okay, I stand corrected. It's 4 screws, just like every other box. 2 here, one there, which I already got out, and now these 2 here need to come out, and then this whole piece will come off. All right, I just loosened it up. And I just noticed that the antenna is also connected as well with a little screw there. But I don't need to actually take this off. So I'm just going to dangle this off to the side here. We don't need to undo the antenna too. But we can now get at what we need to. There's an open port right here. So I'm going to plug into that and hopefully we'll be in business. There we go. You can see here, these are coated really well. There's an extra thick coating. It's hard to see on video. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there is another coating over these LEDs. In the past, like I was explaining earlier, these would just be exposed, okay? And that's kind of dangerous. Gotta stay away from that. But you can see, actually, I think this gives you a better idea. You can see it is all coated, okay? The whole thing is entirely laminated, which is great. So these are gonna be ideal for what I need. All right, let's get started. We're gonna peel off the back, so we're gonna get initial stickiness around here. I'm just gonna do off camera because I'm trying to do this with one hand. I don't have my stand with me to hold the phone, so just let you know what I'm about to do, and then you'll see it in action. But 2 strips, there's one, there's the other one. Okay, 2 wing lights, so to speak, one on each side. They'll wrap around. I'll throw some hot glue on there, it's warming up now, and then we'll light it up, plug it in there, and we should be good to go. Before we even begin, let's plug this in and make sure it works. So I'm gonna plug the batteries in, plug this into the port, and see if these even light up. Okay, just fired the truck up. Let's try and plug this in and see if we got light. Oh, beauty. There it is. We know it works. Good. Also, while I'm thinking of it, I'm just gonna plug this for a second. There's only one port here, and I just remembered that I'm also going to be installing headlights and backlights as well. So rather than just installing this one thing and leaving it alone, I think it would be wiser to install a Y adapter. One end will go to these lights, and then another one that will leave exposed up of the cap on this so that we can plug headlights in for a later day when those arrive. And this, my friends, is a Y cable that I was referring to. Basically allows you to split the signal 2 ways, so that way you can add additional auxiliaries. So like I said, this one here is gonna plug right into the auxiliary, and then I get the 2 ends, one for the lights that I'm gonna install now, the other open one for the lights I'm gonna install later. All right, so if you guys don't have these at home, you need them, go to Amazon.com. I'll put a link in the description where you can find these. They usually come in packages of 3 or 4, and they're pretty inexpensive. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. This little piece at the top actually comes out, so we can pop the auxiliary port out through there, and then I can add lights to that later. And this way I won't have to reopen the box every time I wanna add additional things. So that port will be exposed, and then I can just add right there. I don't have to do any other unscrewing. So we'll plug this into one end, pop the other one out, screw the box down, and then we'll get the light strips going. Okay, another quick test before we screw that box down. Just want to make sure I plug the right side in before we screw it all back in place again. And we can see that the lights are working, so I know that works good. And I'll test the other side of this off camera, make sure both sides are working before we close it up. Okay, and here's what I was saying now. You can see that both of these 2 auxiliary ports are now popped out through here, and I can confirm that it's still working, so I know I didn't do anything wrong. Box is now screwed back in, and we're good to go. We can get ready to start sticking these down and gluing them in place to reinforce them. Now, the thing to keep in mind when you attempt to do this is you want to put this in such a place that it's not in the way, especially where these battery trays are, which are going to be moving in and out. You don't want to be having this stuff around there. You want to make sure that it's nowhere where you're going to need to unscrew anything so that these aren't in the way either. So it's kind of hard to find an ideal place. Anything can break at any point, so you never know what you're going to need to unscrew at some point down the road. But I think the best solution is right down the middle here. So I'm going to shoot for that spot right down here. There's a screw here. I'm going to try to avoid it, but if I have to, so be it. I'm going to go up and around here, all the way down, and try to kind of wrap around here, somewhere around here. This is kind of the thought process. I'll do that on both sides. Let's give that a whirl and we'll see how it works. Also, when you're peeling these off, just got to be careful not to peel that white tape off as well, because that's the sticky part. It's easy to do sometimes if you're not careful. So you just want to make sure that you get a good start and you're only pulling the blue part off the back, not the white. All right, so you can see I've already kind of got a basic guideline here to kind of get started, and you can see it's not sticking very well. It's already coming apart loose here, up and around. So just want to kind of lay it down to get an idea first of where you kind of want it to be, and then I'll just start hot gluing down as we go, and then I'll secure it a little bit more each way until we get to the end, and they'll probably just wrap around. Then we'll do the same on the other side. And you can see I'm already starting to apply glue here, and it's starting to hold now better. Coming around here, And that's about where I'm at right now, so I'm gonna keep going. Just wanted to also note that, you know, I am covering up some screws here on the ESC. So there's always that possibility that as I'm bashing things around, parts can go, and at some point, if this ever goes, I will probably need to pull this out to get at that. So I'm taking the chance that I may have to rip these out and buy new ones. They might not last, or maybe I'll pull it out careful enough so that it doesn't break and still be able to reuse it later. But there's always that chance that things can go wrong. So nothing's ever really permanent. But I'm just keep letting you guys know this is just one way to do it. You know, it may not be the perfect solution for you, but for me, I like having all the lights on the chassis. Other people prefer to light this up instead. They'll put the lights along the body here. And that's another great way to do it, because then you don't have to worry about messing up your chassis and worry about screws and other things. But the reason I don't like to do that is that these can pop off, and there's always the risk of pulling that off with the wire attached and then ripping something out, and that could be a problem too. I've just never been a fan of having things on the body. I just like having everything contained in one place. I just find it to be easier for my needs. So that's why I'll be doing that. And then also when I add the headlights will go in the bumper here, and the back lights will go somewhere in the back. Everything will be on the truck. Okay, so now I've got the first strip down pretty well. So I got that glued all the way around, and I decided to try and minimize the amount of screws that I'm gonna cover up. And wrapped around and went up this way and up and around here. That way I didn't have to cover any screws around here. It just seemed like a better solution. So hopefully that doesn't impact anything. So let's give that a test right now. I'm gonna put in the batteries, test that out, and then if everything looks good, we'll do the other side the same way. Batteries plugged in, moment of truth. Yeah, boy. That looks pretty good to me. Yes, very cool. Let's see what it looks like with the body. This is only half lit, but you get an idea. Now it's gonna be hard to tell with the lights on, so why don't we turn them off? And then you can see what this looks like half lit. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that red. Pops right out. Very cool. And again, there's only one side. It's going to be even better when I get the other side. So that's good. And then eventually I'll add headlights when they arrive. So this thing will be bright and beautiful. A fiery demon from hell. I can't wait to see it. So let's continue the work. All right, so moving along to the other side. And one thing I wanted to point out is this little corner here, really nice. It's like a nice little crevice where you can kind of bury all the extra pieces in there. And it doesn't seem like it's going to impact anything if I hide my extra stuff in there. It doesn't seem to go into the wheel well. I'm going to try to stuff everything in there, all the excess, and we'll see how it goes. There, I like that. You can see all the excess wire stuff down there, so it's tucked and hidden out of the way, so it's nice and neat. So now I'm going to start applying the sticky back to this side, and then we'll glue that side down. Okay, and I've got this now all glued down on this side as well. I went up and around a little differently here, though, and you can see here I decided to tuck it under, come up and around and this way, whereas on the other side, well, I had this in the way here, so I just figured it was easier to curve around and go up that way. A little harsher on the eyes than without the glue there, but it's the only way to get that to really hold down is with the glue. The sticky back just will not cut it. I'm telling you, there's no way it's going to hold. So that works really good. I'm very happy. Going to turn it on now, and we're going to see how this looks with both sides lit. All right, let's see if everything still works. Beauty. Good news. Okay, both sides are lit, and you can see here when the headlights that I ordered arrive, I will have this extra port to put those into. Headlights in front and back. But for the time being, we are looking good. Let's put the body on and see it at night. There we go, guys. Oh baby, look at this. Fully lit up, that body. I love this like translucent material that Traxxas does on their bodies because it just glows so nicely. I found this with my Rustler and my X-Max as well, and now here with the XRT. The only downside about doing this is that you won't be able to add drywall tape and shoe glue to strengthen the back of the body, because then if you do so, you're not going to get that nice translucent lighting effect that I'm getting right now. But if you do want to save your body from abuse, I do recommend the shoe goo and drywall tape. It is a nice thing to do, but I think I'm going to give it a chance and let it ride here because this just looks awesome. I think we'll do without. Let's go take it for a spin, see how it looks at night. Let's just tool around in the driveway real quick. And maybe I'll put the rest. Cool. Nice. Look at how cool it looks inside. You can see the LEDs peeking through the body. Even in daylight, it looks kind of sweet. And if you guys are looking for lights similar to these for yourself, I'll put a link in the description for you guys to find them. That's going to do it for the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Traxxas Xrt red LED body light accessory video. And if so, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and smash the notification bell to stay updated on when my next video becomes available. Until then, this is Joe Sorrentino saying thanks for watching. See you on the next one.